Donald Trump just gave an interview where he seemed incapable of finishing a single thought without something going terribly wrong. And I don't mean, oh, Trump gave a weird answer and the conversation was mostly normal. I am talking about an interview where Donald Trump is confusing everything. He's threatening Canada. He's suggesting maybe we're inspecting meat too much. And he continues to make Dolly Parton's death about himself. And the whole time, Glenn Beck, the interviewer, is sitting there giggling along with him. It is remarkable to watch because every time Trump starts answering a question, you just have no idea where he's going, what he's talking about. And it starts with Dolly Parton. Glenn Beck asked Donald Trump about the death of someone who is, quite frankly, one of the most beloved entertainers in American history. Everybody liked Dolly. And Trump's response is, the most important thing is she really liked me. And by the way, that doesn't seem to be true. Not only is Trump making it about himself, but it really doesn't seem that Trump's politics were anything that Dolly would like. But it's Trump, so he makes it about himself.
We all knew her so well. I knew her a little bit. She wasn't a very political person. She really liked me, I will tell you. But she also wanted to stay very, She was of the opinion, the 50%, who needs to lose. I don't think it's 50. I think it's probably 20% of the fans, okay, not 50. But she was a great person, and she was just a nice person. I liked her a lot. And I thought it was a natural thing to lower the flags.
And she liked me, most importantly. Well, everything that I have ever seen Dolly Parton say about social issues, cultural issues, political issues, education issues seems to run completely counter to everything that Donald Trump believes and stands for. And Dolly Parton dies. And Trump's big contribution to the national remembrance is, by the way, she really liked me. And this is so important a reminder of the Trumpian theory of human existence. There are people who like Donald Trump and people who don't like Donald Trump, and people who Trump simply hasn't figured out yet. Do they like me? Do they really like me? Or do they just hate me? And it is the most important filter and prism through which Donald Trump evaluates everybody. Okay, we then get to the topic of the Strait of Hormuz. And Trump makes an attempt to reassure everybody it's all going completely beautiful.
Prior to the war, prior to what we're doing with Iran, which I think will be ending fairly soon, you could really say, because the strait is open. We take a lot of ships through the strait now. We're taking them in. The mines are gone. You probably saw that. We put it out yesterday, all the mines. We got rid of the mines. But the strait, it's functioning. It's a functioning strait. Yes, every once in a while there'll be a drone or a rocket or something shot.
Every once in a while you'll get droned.
But it is a very functioning strait. A lot of oil is pouring out. 10 million gallons, 10 million barrels yesterday. Prior to
gallons, barrels, who cares, right? First of all, every once in a while there will be a drone or rocket is an incredible way to describe a functioning, totally peaceful international shipping lane. It's working beautifully. Imagine your airline saying, listen, the airline is operating beautifully. Every once in a while, a rocket will come through the airport, but we are just, you can go and get your $7 bottles of water and all of that stuff. It's all working great. And then we get this confusion as to what is the oil supply. Are we talking about barrels or gallons? And this is the president discussing one of the most strategically important waterways on the planet. And the sentence barely survives until the end. Take a listen to this.
Canada. It seems to me they had a really good deal, but this is all about the elections and throwing our elections. What is happening? Is there a way to end this?
Look, I don't know how you feel about Canada. They are one of the worst countries in the world to deal with. And this has gone on for many years.
Wait. Can we say this? I love Canadians and Canada. Correct. I do not like their administration.
Okay, well, right? The administration and the previous administration too is terrible.
Yes.
But they have taken advantage of the United States for many decades. Actually, they charge tariffs that are unbelievable, like on milk, 400% and are like, and I just said, we're taking them on. And I took them on at the beginning, but we had so many other things to do because the country was a mess. But I said, we're going to take them on. We're going to stop it. And you saw the Lake Ontario. People thought I was kidding, but maybe I wasn't. Because the last one you saw was the Gulf of Mexico's Gulf of America.
I know.
So now we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Okay, it's very simple. But look, I don't want to go into great detail because it's maybe boring to people. But to me, it's not boring. They charge tariffs. They take advantage of us as though they were a state, and they're not a state. And they've taken our car industry, and they've taken our agriculture industry.
Yeah.
The farmers can't sell anything in there because the tariffs are so enormous.
Remember, it's Trump who has crushed the farmers and the ranchers.
And yet they want to sell in us without any tariffs. So I had a deal. That was a pretty good deal, quite good, because they're afraid that I won't do any business. In other words, we won't trade. They don't have anything that we have to have. Okay, we can get by. I mean, there are a couple of things
that is very much untrue.
Make it a little inconvenient, but we could get them elsewhere. And it's time to teach Canada you can't do this anymore. We lose $60 billion and really more than that, $60 billion a year with Canada.
Mr. President,
we can't do that.
I can't believe I have to say this to you. I have a network break. You could hold on, but I know you're busy. I so appreciate your time, sir. I am sorry that we're on a network break.
Terrific.
I have a network
thank you for the painting. That was so beautiful.
Listen, this whole premise is completely effed. Like, put aside for a second Glenn Beck giggling and the complete insanity of it all. Canada supplied close to 100% of U.S. imported natural gas last year. 98% of natural gas liquids. 85% of potash fertilizer, potash. I never know how to pronounce that. 81% of the electricity we import is from Canada. 63% of the crude oil. Our largest aluminum supplier. Our number one uranium supplier. This idea that we're fine without Canadian imports. Give me a break. And the whole renaming the lake thing, we're going to get back to that, but we have a Gulf and a lake now, just painfully stupid. And what's insane is that Canada is probably going to have no choice but to capitulate after finding out that Donald Trump has unlocked a body of water. Just kidding. I don't think that renaming with a Sharpie on a map a body of water is going to get Canada to do anything that Trump wants them to do. And then finally, Trump starts talking about meat processors and says, we might be doing a little too much inspection of meat. We might be doing a little too much regulation of meat.
For the country.
That would be good.
No, I've been hearing only bad about it's 4 places and it's a monopoly.
It is.
And who's controlling
this would break their back.
Who's controlling those regulations? Department of Agriculture?
Yes, an FDA.
And the FDA.
Or U.S. or is it USDA? I can't remember which one, but it's
USDA.
It's the federal regulation. It's all the
neither of them have any idea.
Inspections. It's all the inspections.
This is where the incoherence, if the incoherence was funny to you before, this is where it stops being funny. Meat inspections and food safety regulations are not bureaucratic abstractions. They exist because contaminated meat can make people really sick. It can even kill them. And there is a legitimate conversation to have about if we have redundant regulations, let's look at getting rid of them. Or if we can make government more efficient in some way, let's do that. But maybe we don't need so much inspection of the meat is not where I want the president giving us his harebrained ideas. And when you take it all together, Dolly Parton dies. She liked me. The Strait of Hormuz. It's fine. Every once in a while, there are just drones and rockets. Canada. We're going to teach them a lesson by renaming the lake. Meat inspection. Maybe we just do fewer inspections. This is a nightmare. And Glenn Beck is sitting there laughing along as though this resembles a normal conversation with the president of the United States. We have to recognize we have become accustomed to Trump speaking this way so that the individual moments barely register anymore. But you put 4 of them next to each other and compare it to how we used to see presidents speak. And you remember, this is profoundly bizarre. This is profoundly embarrassing. This is humiliating. This is a disaster. But Glenn Beck just chuckles along, and we're all supposed to go, isn't this all so funny? Most sweet snacks are either satisfying or sensible. Our sponsor, Magic Spoon, is both. Magic Spoon treats are crispy, airy snack bars with 12 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, 0 grams of added sugar, and 2 to 3 grams of net carbs. They come in great flavors like marshmallow, chocolate, peanut butter, and double chocolate, my favorite. A perfect, sweet, light snack I can throw in the bag and take on the go. They remind me of cereal bars, same texture and flavor, but without the carbs and without the sugar. Magic Spoon is easy to find. Just look for Magic Spoon at your local grocery store. They also rolled out treats nationwide at 7-Eleven. And if you haven't tried them yet, check out Magic Spoon's new protein pastries. High protein, low sugar takes on the classic toaster pastries I grew up with. You can get $5 off your next order, including the protein pastries at magicspoon.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.